These episodes are intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion advised. Hey guys, doing this a little different this week. Well, I'll be turning 29 soon, and I thought, what direction do I want to go with when it comes to the podcast, being in my last year of my 20s. And so I began writing down the lessons I learned in my 20s. And I thought, things you need to know in your 20s. So with this last year coming and me about to hit 30, I thought I'd share those with you guys through the podcast. And it doesn't just include me telling you the lessons that I've learned throughout the years, but it includes interviewing people with knowledge that I believe we all need in our 20s. For example, taxes. I think in our 20s, we get the paperwork and, we fill out little things, but what ways can we take advantage and get everything out of our taxes that we can? So I'm going to bring somebody on to share how to do that and which ways you can get the most money back when it comes to taxes or nutrition, physical health, and beyond. I believe our 20s is not only to discover who we are, but to gather the knowledge that we need for our lives. And have fun along the way. But I want to make gathering that knowledge or getting that knowledge easier. So this series is what you should know in your 20s. A place where if you're a military brat or non-military brat, you can come and get the knowledge that you need to grow, learn, and be successful in life. I know right now with what's going on in the world and our economy that the generation now, we're not growing financially the way we were back then. And it's a struggle. And honestly, it is a transition into what new America is or the new world is, where you can work but also have something else on the side that helps you along the way, or you can actually truly go after your dreams because you see now that nothing is for certain. And so with this series, I want to share the knowledge that I have learned, as well as the knowledge that I am curious about in the last year of my 20s. And I'm excited to bring you guys along the ride. Today, I just want to share with you guys a couple lessons that I've learned over the last over the last 8 years. I don't know why I said 28. Jesus, that'll be my whole life. Over the last 8 years, nearly 9 years of my life. So, first one is this. Work toward financial freedom. Financial freedom will be the one thing that's in your control. A lot of you are probably thinking is it in my control when it comes to jobs and when it comes to your future, and how do you plan for that? Well, that's the thing. First thing you got to do is make a plan. And then you have to figure out how to make the job that you have work for the life that you want. You see, the next one is hard things. You don't have to do hard things. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that not every hard thing in life is meant for you to conquer, for you to get over it, for you to go through. There are some things in life that are not meant for you. They are not your battle. And the way that you realize this is by figuring out what you want to do with your life. And I know, your 20s, it's crazy. And I know, your 20s, it's like, I'm not getting paid what I want to get paid, or blah, 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 and all these different things. But know this, when you have an idea of what you want your future to look like, and I'm not saying you have to know exactly what you want to do in life, but what I'm saying is, when you see your future, do you see a house? Do you see land? Do you see a family? Do you see a person that you want to be with? Do you see yourself traveling? What is it that you want to do with your life? Even if it is within 5 years, and that could change. But the hard things that you're doing should be toward the things that you want in your future. Don't just do hard things to do hard things. Do hard things because either it's going to help you financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, or mentally. Because doing hard things just to do hard things when it doesn't help you or propel you into what's next for your life, then that's just a waste of time. Lesson number 3. Ooh. The art of doing nothing. I think we are in an age where doing nothing seems like you're either bored and you need something to occupy yourself, which I am very much, I don't want to say a victim of, but I am very much in that category of when I get bored, I start getting on my phone or I start doing other things that just to occupy my time. But there's times where just doing nothing is necessary. Just being with yourself and being okay with being with yourself is important. It gives you a chance to reflect on your week, gives you a chance to reflect on your year, gives you a chance to reflect on your life and see where you want to go next, or what you want to revise within the next week to help propel you into what's next. It gives you a time to just be with yourself and be okay with that and think, what else can I do to not only be successful, but what else can I do to just be the best version of myself? It also gives you time to see maybe there are certain things you want to cut out and certain things that you want to do more of. When we get too busy, that's when life gets overwhelming. That's when we burn ourselves out. And then we end up quitting the one thing that we wanted to be the most successful in. So hold on to what you know is true and take the time to reflect and move according to the plans of the future that you have for yourself. Oh, which leads us into this next one. Either life happens to you or you happen to life. When I say that, I'm saying this in a way of either you put in the work for your life or life will put you to work. If you don't direct your life, if you don't have an idea of what your purpose is and what your future is, then life is going to work you to the bone. Because you're just going to go through life, do different things, but not truly live. So until you know your purpose, until you have the knowledge that you need to get to the next level, until you really put your hands to the plow, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be confused, and you're going to feel like you are floating. You're going to feel like you're floating through life. I felt that for a minute when I was in college. I got to college. I said, I'm going to go to college for psychology, which is insane because now I'm taking a psychology class to get a psychology certificate. I guess my 18-year-old self knew more than I thought she did in what I wanted to do in life. But honestly, this was not really an option. And I really lived in the boxes growing up. Whatever box was prepared for me was the box I was prepared to live in. I didn't give much thought to how I wanted my... Hey guys, we are on air. I know, right? So cool to have this. But I interrupt this podcast to ask you guys to please follow us on all of our social media sites. We have Instagram, YouTube, the podcast on anywhere you get your podcast. And please share and like this episode and comment if this episode has affected you in any way. Because the more you comment, the more you like, the more you share, the more people we reach. And the more people we reach means the more the story of mental health and military brats change. So please go and follow us on all of these websites, and please share it with whoever and whomever you believe these stories will help change. Because I know that all of these stories thus far has already helped change my life. So again, thank you guys for watching. And please like, share, comment, and follow us on all of our social media platforms. I didn't give much thought to my life growing up, to be honest. I kind of went of how society said it was supposed to look. You graduate, you go to college, you get a job, you do the 9 to 5, you have kids, you get married, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. Get married, have kids. Although... I mean, whatever it means. Anyway, that was my philosophy. That was in my head. Just go from one box to the next. But, in the last couple of years, those boxes have changed and no longer really looks the way they do. Do I want to have kids? Maybe. Right now, not really. And I know that because I am I'm not in a, like, I don't want to say I'm in a selfish era, because I'm not in a selfish era. I just know that if having kids right now, it wouldn't be for the child, it would be just to have a kid, and I don't want my kid to come in that way. So if I do have kids, it'll be out of adding to the love that I have for their father and not to fill a box, because that's what it was before. And even though I would have loved that kid regardless, the intentions of having my child, I want it to be for the right ones. And so for me, the life of what I want to live has changed tremendously. So some things are still the same. I still do want to get married, and I still want to, travel and, continue to see the world. But I think the timeline of all these things have shifted, and that's okay. Be okay with growing into the person that you are meant to become, while also adjusting your life plan and your life to the purpose that you have. And that's what I've been learning how to do, to be honest. And so instead of allowing life to happen to me like I used to by just ticking off the boxes, I started living my life according to the purpose and the plans that God has for me and my future. And it has given me strength and confidence in who I am and who I'm becoming in so many different ways, of why I have changed my lifestyle, like why I love and enjoy taking care of myself, because I don't want it being me stopping myself from fulfilling the purpose that God has for me. So I'm taking care of the vessel that He has blessed me with. And I am cooking more, and I'm eating healthier, and I'm working out, and I've fallen in love with cycling, kind of in the same way that I fell in love with basketball when I was 5 years old. And I just get that very zoned out moment of where nothing else matters but me riding my bike and enjoying the outdoors and just doing my best not to have an allergy attack while I'm riding my bike. No, seriously, where I'm just out, and it just all makes sense. In those moments, everything made sense. The same way basketball always made sense to me, and how everything came easy to me when it came to basketball, cycling is the same, where it's you do this and this, you get better, and being out there, not really having to think about the mechanics, and just doing it, it just feels exactly like, the first time when I was 5 years old. So don't let your life just be a checklist. Live your life and experience it, and go in the direction of your purpose and of what you want to do and what you want to get out of life. Because you only got one. You only get one. In this body, in this time. And you have to make the most of it. So don't let life kick your butt. Kick life's butt. And the last one is staying committed. I know that we're kind of, I don't know if we're in a time where people want to get married, but being committed is like different. Like, I feel like we're in the most contradicting generation of our lives, but it doesn't even just go with relationships, it just goes with everything in life. I think because there's so many options out there, we are so afraid to commit to a choice that we've made. But indecisiveness does not help you in life. The more indecisive you are, the more confused you're gonna be. And the more confused you are, the more mess your life is gonna have. And that's just truth. The more indecisive, the more times you don't make the decision that you need to make, or the more times that you switch your decision up, or the more times that your life is going to be in shambles or a mess, or you're starting over every single time. Sometimes you just have to stay committed. Stay committed to your decision, to what decision that you've made. Because by staying committed and doing the hard thing, you are able to progress into what's next in your life. And I don't know why we're in it. I don't know why indecision is so big now. I get it. We have a lot of things that are at our fingertips so quickly, and we can so quickly change into a different career field, or do something else, or choose that red t-shirt over that blue t-shirt and then switch to the blue. Like, I get that. But making a decision and sticking to it, you will see the building blocks from that. And you will slowly build your life that you want when you stick to those decisions. And yes, not every decision you are going to make is going to be perfect, and you are going to have to adjust to that decision and make that decision work for you. But it's either you make the choice or you don't. If you don't make the choice, you're stuck. You don't build anything and you stay stuck in a place that you are not meant to be in, but only a moment. But when you make a decision and you move forward with that decision, and then you figure out, okay, this was the right decision, now we're on the right track, and you keep going, or you make the decision and it wasn't the best decision, but guess what? Now you know what you don't want, so that you can get to the way, or you can get the direction that you need to get on the right path, to get to what you do want. So be committed to what you want to do. Be committed to what you start. Again, like I said, not every hard thing you got to do. But when you know your purpose and you know what you want to do, and you know that it's going to benefit you in so many different ways of your life, it makes decisions a lot easier. It's easier to say no, and it's easier to say yes. But we can't continue to stay in a gray area. We have to be able to move forward in order to get to the life that we want. And I've truly learned that in my 20s. I think when you're a teenager, indecisiveness, or kids, indecisiveness is very easy because your parents are making most of your decisions. But when you're an adult, your indecisiveness does not help you in any type of way, shape, or form. You have to make those decisions. If you're going to college, you have to decide if you're going to go to class. Because if you don't go to class, then now the dream that you had about becoming an architect or becoming a basketball player, maybe after college, possibly, whatever, or becoming a physical therapist, whatever it may be, that falls to the wayside because you didn't go to class, because you thought that, well, this is nice, but maybe not. I mean, for me, I had a psychology class, and I knew that I didn't want to be a psychologist because I took that psychology class and I was the most bored person in my life. But I had only saw psychology for one thing, which was psychology. I didn't know that I could tailor my degree to behavioral psychology. That really interests me, of why we do things the way we do. But then again, I wouldn't have the sports management degree that I have, and I wouldn't have interacted with the people that I interacted with in college and got to know them and really see a different side to the world that I wouldn't have seen before. So for me, in making a decision to go down the path of sports management, it wasn't the wrong decision. It was just a decision that kind of took a detour to where I am now. I have a psychology degree. I do not have a psychology degree. Scratch that. No, I have a sports management degree, and I really did want to be an agent. I wanted to become an agent, and I wanted to help young people's dreams come true as, NBA players, MLB players, whatever it may be. But I quickly turned away from that. It quickly didn't become my passion, but that didn't stop me from continuing to pursue it, because I had to continue to pursue it until I figured out what was next for me. But I knew that in pursuing this, it was going to bring me into what was next. And it turned out to be this. I mean, this is why I'm a contract specialist. I'm a contract specialist because we have to look at contracts every day, which is what you have to do when you want to be a sports manager, right? If you want to be an agent. And so I thought, great intro, let's do it. It can give me the opening that I need to get into sports management. And then I started this podcast. And I thought, okay, cool, I can shift, but I don't have any experience when it comes to psychology. I don't have any experience when it comes to behavioral psychology or mental health. So how do I grow that experience? Well, one way is to talk about it on my podcast, on this podcast, and another way is to study it. So thus is why I'm getting my psychology certificate. And figure out everything else as it comes. I know that my degree that I have in business, my master's degree in business and my bachelor's degree in sports management, is going to help me with this, because not only do I want to do this podcast, but I want to grow it bigger, and I want to create a space for military brats who are young adults, teenagers, kids, where they can go to a therapist and have those type of conversations. And I want it to be not just in person, but also in other ways, because we are in a new world. And I know my business background is going to help me with the business side. And I know the connections that need to be made is going to help me with this. But before I can do all that, I have to get a little bit more knowledge on mental health and find the right people to connect with in order to create this business venture that I want to create. And so by staying committed to what I knew wasn't truly meant for me, but I saw the growth that it could do for what I wanted to do and what I want to do, now I'm here, and it's like, all right, cool. We know how to do the business, what needs to happen on that side, what needs to happen on the personal side for us to be able to be the best version, so that when military brats graduate or when military brats are moving, we have this place they can come to have these conversations they need, to get the emotional intelligence they need to be able to be the best version of a young adult possible, right? And it's not saying they're going to be perfect, because Lord knows, like, none of us are perfect, but how do I create a personal side to give this next generation the tools that is needed in order to be successful in, you know, their 20s, in your 20s, and all these in different things. So figuring that side out, right? What tools are needed? How can we use these tools? And how is it going to mesh with the business? And so, yeah, just figuring all those things out. But yeah, I've just really been doing that. And if I didn't stay committed to what I'm doing now, I do believe that I would have just been stagnant, and I wouldn't be where I am out now, and I wouldn't be having this conversation with you guys, because I just would be lost in the sauce. So I guess at the end of all this, and the lessons learning from this, is this: stay committed, do the hard things that will help you grow into your future, be financially freedom, figure out a way to get there, figure out a way to budget, invest, give, because giving back is a really big thing in financial freedom. And I know that sounds crazy. How does that work? Guess what? We'll do an episode on giving and how that really helps you in your financial freedom. And be happy with doing nothing. Be happy with yourself. Be happy with just spending time with your family on the couch watching TV, or sitting in silence and listening to music. I just finished a book while I was like cleaning up in my house, and I know that's like not the art of doing absolutely nothing, but like not succeeding in anything really, but just kind of just, you know, cleaning my house, washing a couple things, and really just resetting. Because that can be doing nothing, just resetting and relaxing, washing, you know, clothes or anything, not doing too much. It was really nice. Like, I didn't have the TV on. I wasn't like trying to occupy my time. I was just listening to a book and cleaning. And I really enjoyed the book. The book was amazing. It's called P.S. It Was Always You. It's Always Been You. P.S. It's Always Been You. It's a great book. It's a 3-part book, and I just really enjoyed it. And yeah, sometimes you just kind of have to be reminded of the important things in life, and the art of doing nothing is one of those things. Being reminded of what's important and not letting the busyness of life let you forget that. So anyway, I'm done, guys. I I want to thank you guys for watching. I don't know if I'm going to cut anything out. I'm honestly wanting to be very honest and very real with this series because this is things I've learned and it's real life. And why cut out the stupid stuff that I say in between or the little rambles? You can skip those if you would like. But I want this series to be as real as possible, and that includes when I'm interviewing somebody or when I'm sharing more lessons, and some of them may come in the form of a vlog where I'm out and about enjoying time with friends or enjoying time in solitude, and I kind of do a voiceover type of thing. So I am really trying to take this podcast in different directions and trying something new. So we'll see if it works out or not, but I'm excited for this new series. I don't know how long this series is going to last. I think it's going to last a while. And I say that because as curiosity grows, there'll be a part 2. Like beginning of my 30s. What am I learning in my 30s, you know? What to know in your 30s. And it'll just be a continuous evolution of the era that I'm in. And since we are in our 20s, and we are in our young adult era. By the way, does anybody know when young adults end? I was told it was like 18 to 25, but apparently it's like 18 to 28, maybe even like 29. I don't know. I just know once I'm turning 29, I'm pretty sure I'm out of my young adult era, and that's okay. But I want to share all the knowledge that I got and all the knowledge that I'm curious about in my last year of my 20s and things that I believe that I'll need to bring into my 30s. So that'll be fun to share with you guys. And hopefully some of the tools that I have had, including the 6 lessons I've shared with you today, will help you have a step forward in your life where you are now. And hopefully propel you further down the line when you are 28 sitting, of course, dogs. When you're 28 chilling and you reflect back and you see all the tools that you used and see that at 28 you were a lot farther than I ever was. And that's my hope, is that the next generation is 10 times further than I ever was at the age they will become in like the next 10 years. For me, it would be 38, and whoever will be 28, and so on and so on. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next episode of 20s, of what to know in your 20s. And I'll see you guys in the next episode that could possibly be with either somebody for the series or somebody sharing their story. Still going to be sharing the stories with people, so about people in their lives and how they became the person they are today. So I'm excited about all those things. All right, I'm going to shut up now. I will see you guys later. Peace. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. There are a ton more tea time episodes as well as stories that are going to be shared on this podcast to come. So please like and subscribe or follow down below. And I will see you all next Military Brat Monday. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I am so excited to continue this journey with all of you.